show you some of the things that was displayed last week at our event. Show you what we do. The handout, there's four copies of that thing, that long sheet of paper. It lists projects, and what we do is we have to come in from east, west, north, south, and east regions of District 4. We have the 9 Bay Area counties. And so what we do is show the project, the value, where it is, so you can see where the roadwork is, and the engineers who are there will then describe what in that project is a small opportunity for small businesses, or DVBEs, if you have a need. And so we list the projects. We always pick 4 from each area to talk about, have engineers there to discuss what they know, and they're different design engineers, and then also from program management, so it's cost and design. We're going to start in the future, have more people come from construction and answer those questions, like added questions. The people that you talk to were design engineers and project management. So they pay, they draw, they walk away. The guys that build weren't there. They'll be there next.
Contract advertisements, you're not going to have to purchase a bid package anymore. They are currently going to be electronic. When you go on that office engineer page, so that's another small business friendly feature. It's also paperless, good for the economy, and wanted to make sure that. The other thing is that there has been a spending freeze, which means that the governor has said unless it is mission critical or it directly affects life and safety, you are not to be spending any money. If you do need to think that your purchase or your contract is something that is mission critical or does affect life and safety, you have to write and request an exclusion from this spending freeze, and then it will be funded, which they are going through with them. Okay, so there's minor B projects and so on. If it is something, the money's already been allocated and all of that, and it's not state dollars, then it'll be funded. And the new bonding program information is all back there. I'm going to pull up George's PowerPoint.
All minor B's.
We don't know. That's the a change, but I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, this is what we had on March 2nd, and this was a project. It's $60 million. Okay, that's a big project, but it's pavement rehab, the small HOB lanes rehab, San Ramon, Danville, and Creek area. You can see where it's going to be. But in that $60 million, there's trucking, there's electrical stuff, there's all kinds of small business opportunities. Okay, and go to and then this is $60 million. This Boulevard, rehab, Fremont, Union City, same thing. Trucking, concrete work, night work, signage, bowl lighting, striping, all that stuff is going to be available there. Again, there'll be a breakdown of small businesses. This is only $620,000. System repair of a drain in concrete. It's a small project for a small business. If you're a small business, think about being a joint venture. Maybe you can't do it all, but you can do half, and the friend you have. You can be a joint venture. Kiva does joint ventures. They're a big company. It makes sense to them. You guys can also do a joint venture. Think about doing that.
Do you lose? Huh? What part of the incentive is applied for a joint venture?
It's the same as anything else.
If you have a joint venture, you get the full incentive?
Yes. If the joint venture still becomes a DVB or a small business. If you join somebody and you get too big, then you don't. But as long as you maintain your small business or DVB status with the funding amount of money, it becomes you get the thing. A bridge rehab throughout Contra County, $640,000. Again, a joint venture. Now we're going to North Reach, $310,000. Upgrade ramps, brigade payment. That's a small business. $500,000. This is in Sonoma, 116. Post Mile 26, $500,000. That's a small business. You can do this stuff. $104,000 install rock slope protection. I have no idea what that means, but again, a small business. This is bonded where course overlay on MRIN 1, $2 million, $2.5 million. But again, within that will be stuff that can be done by small businesses. If you come to our events, we'll tell you what the opportunities are within these projects. That's what we do every 3 months. Then if there's a project for Caltrans Tunnel, or Doyle Drive, or the Double Slide thing, if there's a mandatory pre-bid for a certain job, And the contractor wants to bid in that job and does not show up at that mandatory pre-bid, he cannot bid on the job. Just can't do it. That means if you want to bid on the job, if you see coming up and you know there's going to be a prime bid, you show up and you go tell him what you can do. Don't come to a guy and go, here's my card, I dig holes and walk away. He's not great. He's take the card and throw it away. Make a fact sheet. What you've done. What kind of equipment do you have? What kind of trust do you have? The experience of your staff, the experience that you have. What have you done? And hand it to them. They'll keep a fact sheet. A business card, they have millions of business cards. There's card, yeah, I met the guy, I showed up, I did my bid, I threw the card away. Give them a fact sheet. And then after you meet the person next day, get his name or her name and call them. And say, remember me yesterday, I was at the mandatory pre-bid. I gave you this fact sheet. I'm so-and-so. I can still do this, this, and this. Business cards are great for a phone call, but for a job, what can you do for me? And they're in a hurry. They want to know now. They want to know today. Am I right?
Yeah, and I was going to say, be persistent and call back, because like Liza with the Z, Lisa with an S. We should have a song about that. But, you know, it's one of us and a lot of you folks. So even though you may call and leave a message and go, well, I never heard back, we're inundated with folks, and it's not for lack of trying to help. It's just the resources available to us as individuals. So the more you call, the more you're persistent, the better, you know, squeaky wheel. And that's all I can say. It doesn't offend me. It probably doesn't offend Liza. Just, you know, if you called and you didn't hear back for a few days, call again. You know, just be the squeaky wheel.
Yeah, it's true. It's because when we first started doing the mandatory pre-bids, a lot of the primes thought they were a joke. They showed up, got a table for them, and the minute they were gone. They would leave. We take their card and say, you cannot bid on the project. We had a project about a year ago where 3 companies, I thought they left. They were sitting in the back talking to the Caltrans friends. They weren't at the table. So I told Bob Finney, I said, these guys weren't there. And they called me on the phone, they were mad at me. I said, well, you can get a table, you weren't at the table. I was mad talking to so-and-so. I don't know that. So I had the engineers from Caltrans tell me they were there. So next time, they sat at their table. Because if I make a sign that says flat iron, I want a flat iron at their table, not in the back, talking to Caltrans. So they realized they were saying, there's also, I think it was Mary Bill, where the contractor lost a bid because he wasn't at the pre-bid.
I'm not sure.
There was about a year ago, there was a contractor who didn't come to the pre-bid meeting. He was the lowest bidder, got the bid, checked the record, he wasn't there, he lost the bid. Now they realize it's serious. If you're going to be a mandatory pre-bidder at a mandatory pre-bid, you have to be there if you're a prime contractor. And if they're there, you need to be there. Find out what they want, what they can do, and give them information in a way they remember. A fact sheet. 8.511, both sides. Your history, your bonding, your insurance, your employees, your equipment, what you've done. Because like you all know, if they know you, they'll call you. If they don't know you, it's like,
But the second and third and fourth and fifth and 10th and 15th time they see your information come across their table, they're going to sit there and go, oh, I know them.
yeah, I know them. I met them.
They might have never met him, might have never used him, but all of a sudden they know him.
And the other thing too is don't be afraid to, I'm not going to say it's even a shortcoming, but if there's some concern that you have, whether it be bonding or specifics about maybe the scope of work or your capacity to do a portion of the work but not the whole thing, talk about it, bring it up. You know, don't keep that in the back of your head about, well, I don't know if I can do this. Ask the questions that are in the back of your head. That little voice that's talking to you, get it out, talk to us about it, because, you know, 9 times out of 10 we'll probably be able to work through it and help you out. So just, you know, we don't know what we don't know. So
Yeah.
again, be vocal.
Yeah. The more you let them know about your business, pro and con, what I can and can't do, the better. Because they do want to help you grow. A lot of them do. We have the Gold Drive project, which is an interesting project. They, Ghirardelli got the utilities, and they are working with small businesses all over the place, trying to get them in, because we were pushing them. You know, they didn't have to, but they, in front, they said they would, and they are. Okay, they help people get bond. They bond people themselves. They're doing their CSEP. They get it now. They're finding after years what's going. You gotta do more. You gotta do more. You gotta do more. They're doing more, but they have to have viable choices, which means you have to make yourself known to them and be viable.
And be viable, which is all your business, and I saw on your minutes, I guess it was last month, business financing and being able to make sure your small business development